Hello, and welcome to the PlayStation Station. In today's video, we're going to look at Days Gone. I've recently finished it. I've got the Platinum. This is my full review. I hope you're all having a bloody awesome week. Obviously, most of you will know this game was free on PlayStation Plus, I believe. Not last month, possibly the month before. Time's flying so quickly right now, so forgive me if it wasn't either of those months, but I think it was. It's really an epic game. I have to admit, I loved it from start to finish. I saw a lot of people said that like it got repetitive or it was dull throughout periods. I really didn't get that impression at all. I really was totally addicted on the gameplay, on the story itself, and just generally being an absolute mongrel. It's wicked. It's an open world action adventure game set in pretty mad wilderness. It's a couple years after a global pandemic, which has pretty much resulted in zombies, a zombie outbreak, which they know them as freaks, or I think they're freaks, not freakers, right? Freaks, yeah. And you play this dude who is Deacon St. John. He's an absolute lad. I really like the guy. I mean, his character himself, I just thought he was enjoyable to play as. I thought he was a cool guy, and that was all part of the experience as you. And he was this biker as part of this biker crew, the Mongrels. That's why I said that like a minute ago. But he's got his biker friend, and you guys are pretty much like bounty hunters. You're known as drifters because you don't live in a camp. I'm not gonna spoil the whole. There's no spoilers here, all right? This is just beginning basic stuff. You don't live in a camp, and you're out and about, and you're doing your own thing, and you're pretty much trying to survive in this harsh world, and pretty much find yourself some purpose. Even though it's obviously very difficult to do so in those circumstances. But all in all, it's really fun. I mean, the story itself, obviously, as I said, I don't want to give any spoilers, but the story itself is definitely full of emotions, and it's been really well thought out. There's a lot that goes on. There is some parts which I guess could be a bit predictable. And others not so, but all in all, it kept me coming back for more and wanting to know. And it was one of those ones where I didn't just want to rush through the story mission and find out. I'd do like little bit at a time and then go do some of the awesome side missions or take out a zombie horde, which by the way, the hordes are absolute madness and a lot of fun. That's literally what this in the background, the gameplay is. This is after I've completed the game. That's just me having fun with some of the hordes, which throughout the game, you don't actually, they end up coming on your map later, but you don't end up having them on your map. So you can literally just be exploring, you're on your way to a side mission, whatever, and then you find yourself in absolute mayhem, trying to run for dear life, especially at the beginning when you don't have the equipment to take them on. Then obviously you can end up getting more explosives and you're crafting better weapons, you get better machine guns, all the rest of it. Then you find yourself able to take on mass amounts of the freaks and it becomes manageable, but at the same time it's still fun. Not yet to mention your different like crafting potions and whatever. All in all, the crafting system itself is actually pretty neat and pretty easy to run through. I actually think this is probably the quickest AAA game that I've ever made it to Platinum. Like, that's how much I was just enjoying all of it, to be honest. Obviously, it's not for the faint-hearted. It is not like a game where, someone that... I mean, if you don't like zombies, it's probably not the game for you. I have to admit, I do have a bit of bias here, guys, because I love zombie games, and like this type of apocalyptic game, it's right up my alley. So bear that in mind with the review, that like it is just definitely a genre that I really enjoy anyway. I mean, so take it with a bit of pinch of salt, is what I'm saying. That maybe I might, if you're not massive into horror zombie type, I wouldn't say it's horror because it doesn't really have that many scary parts. It's just a lot of zombies and yeah. So if that's not your thing, maybe you won't find it as enjoyable as I have. But I truly have loved it. The side missions, I briefly touched on them. There's a lot to do in the game. Just got to think, because I am doing this totally off the top of my head, everything. I'll try and remember everything, guys. You've got burning the nests of the zombies, which will end up in being a few zombies coming out of them. Make sure you got enough Molotovs to do that. You got the Ripper camps. Now, that was bloody cool, because these Ripper, just the concept of these people, the Rippers, who, after the apocalypse, they've ended up pretty much idolizing the zombies and almost trying to zombify themselves, and they're just utter savages. And yeah, I just thought the concept of the Rippers were just amazing. You got the Ripper camps, so you go out there, you kill a load of those guys, take over their camp, which quickly follows into the Marauder camps, which is, you know, your standard bandit type camp. Go out, kill a load of enemies, and whatever, loot up what good loot they've got. These actually are pretty important because it helps you unlock more crafting stuff, which I found you'd want to get that done as soon as possible. What else do we got? You got standard missions where you got to go save someone, or some people from some camps. You get like ambushed by some random sniper dudes sitting up in a tree. Those could be a pain. And then I mentioned the hordes. I'm probably forgetting something, but I mean, that's pretty much a lot of the missions you have to do. You got a creepy around stuff as well, where you've got to like follow people around and get close enough to them to eavesdrop conversations and stuff, going from bush to bush. But I believe that's just in the main story missions. But all in all, the combat's wicked. I mean, it's one of those games where it's got one of those slow down, like Red Dead focus things, which, I mean, when you've got hundreds of zombies running at you, it's pretty damn needed. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't actually buy that skill until way later on, and then I just felt so overpowered after I got it. But yeah, the combat's sick. They've got a nice variety of guns. Melee weapons, obviously you can craft your melee weapons and you can put your spikes on your baseball bat, all the rest of it. I mean, you gotta love the blood and gore of that. And just generally the environment is really cool. I mean, you've got the woods going to snow, like covered land, and lakes and all. Yeah, I mean, the map, it's definitely not the best open world game map ever, but I think for the setting it's in, it's really fitting. And I mean, I'm a sucker for open world games, to be honest. I just love exploring, so that's definitely a bonus. The map was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of things where like you'll find you go off the beaten path and then you end up finding something to do. So as I say, pretty neat little open map. Really different variety of land as well. It kept opening up throughout the game. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. There was like new unlocked sections. I was like, okay, just kept expanding, which was nice, the way they kind of slowly introduced you into the map. What else have we got to say? I've touched on how much I loved the story. I thought that, how could I forget the bike itself? I mean, that ties straight into the map. Traversing the land on your bike. You got these zombie wolf dog people things. They're not people. They're definitely not people. These monster type dog zombie things. And they're chasing you and you're turning your back to them and you're bibbity bopping them whilst you're driving. I love it. It's just, the bike is so cool. It's like, yeah, that was part of the game that just made everything so enjoyable. Yeah, you've got to fast travel. A lot of games when there is fast travel involved, I used it so much, but I did find I was using the bike quite a lot considering how much I played and everything. The bike is a big plus from me. Having said that, you definitely don't want to run out of petrol. I ran out of petrol once and I literally never made the mistake again, because you have to go. You can just, I found out later actually that you can just like pay someone at one of the campsites to go retrieve it. I would have known that, because I literally ran for miles through the woodlands to find a can of petrol to then run miles back to put it in my bike and drive off. Yeah, so don't run out of petrol. But guys, that brings me to the score of the game. I think this has actually been a massively overlooked game. It's so much fun. And I think when you're playing a video game, you want to have fun. I'm giving it an 8.9 out of 10. I think it's bloody incredible. I loved it. I just don't think it got the reception it deserves. And it's sad to hear there might not be a sequel. I would love to see a Days Gone 2 and for them to expand on what they created here. If you haven't played it, guys, and you missed it for free, unlucky, but still play it. It's definitely worth it. It's always in sales. It's a bloody great one. Days Gone. That's the review. We'll be in the next few days, at least by the weekend, we'll be giving my updated review on EA Access. So make sure you subscribe to not miss out on that, and drop a like if you've enjoyed the video. It will really mean something to me. It will also help other people to get to see the channel, and that I truly will appreciate. Guys, I hope you're having an awesome week. Until the next one.